with your hands up, you killed it, you murdered this, and blah, 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 blah. Now, in the real world, we know there are religions that are absolutely crazy. I had, as a lawyer once, Charles Gary, okay? Charles Gary was later the lawyer for Jim Jones of Jonestown, all right? So I know about...
So you know from crazy.
I know from crazy, all right? But Martin Luther King was a Christian, right? He was a Christian minister, right? He is now a national holiday, right? Now, so Hitchens, after ranting and raving, finally has to say, all right, I know about Martin Luther King, but hey, he was only nominally a Christian. He really wasn't a Christian, right? Now, what is this all about? What he's doing is, this is the guy who puts the pronoun I, me, okay, into his book constantly, where it's not necessary. And he has decided that since he is an atheist and the devil, everybody who believes in God really is sucking poison, therefore, Jefferson was an atheist. Martin Luther King wasn't really a Christian. Sigmund Freud wasn't a doctor. What are we talking about? This is like we're doing a report on a patient in the schizophrenic.
But clearly these are his opinions. And he's entitled to his opinion on that. And people can, I think people can disagree about certain things like that.
Well, you cannot disagree with Sigmund Freud was a doctor.
Oh, okay.
All right? That's
okay.
Sigmund Freud was a doctor. Whatever you think about what he did as a doctor, he is a doctor.
But overall, the book is...
It goes on and on. And yet,
you haven't told the audience a basic overview of what he covers in the book.
Basically, everything that any religious person ever done was a sin, whether they knew it or not, was poison, whether they knew it or not. He has pages ranting against abortion. And
in this book?
In this book, and circumcision. Okay?
Well, good. I'm glad he's ranting. Yes, Christopher. Go after circumcision.
No. Look,
but I don't.
Let me
I've always had a hard time finding the connection between. Yes, it's practiced mostly in the Jewish religion, but today so many people do it. They think it's just a routine medical necessity, but overall, this is a good book criticizing theology. No. But is does he get into what's good about atheism, or is it just attacking religion?
No.
Because I think it's good to have both.
Let me put it this way. It's attacking all religions and merging them all. They're all sinners. All religions are sinners because, after all, you're supposed to be a free-thinking person, and if you believe in God, you believe that God created the world, whether you believe it or not. It's hard to follow. Basically, let me put it this way. Years ago, I heard him speak at a meeting. I don't even remember what the meeting was anymore. And I tried to ask him, hey, do you remember this meeting? And he doesn't remember the meetings, okay? But he was ranting and raving against religion. Now, look, I'm an atheist. I've been an atheist since I've been at least since I've been 10 years old, all right? And et cetera, et cetera. But when I was in the civil rights movement, the black civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s, I was in churches every other day, because that's where the things were going on, all right? I'm involved now on the Palestine question. I not only hang around with Muslims, I just spoke for the Muslim Students Association in California. I hang around with ultra-Orthodox Jews.
And?
Okay? Because the issue, the political issue, for atheists and for everybody else, is separation of religion and state. That's how it comes down in practical political terms. In other words, everybody here, you, me, the three of us, we believe in freedom of religion, right? Okay? Where we argue with the religious is over their theology. We don't believe it's scientific, and we reject it, etc. But where we really duke it out with the fanatics is when they start putting their religion onto our state. Right. In other words, they want money for their religion, etc., etc. All right? Now,
not just money. They want the laws to be that people pray in a certain way and people do act in a certain way.
And what is it? How is this related to the book? I'm not sure where you're.
Now, right now, there are religious people in the United States who are backing George Bush and trying to get rid of the separation of church and state. But there are other religious people, like the folks at Christian Century, for example, which is upper class WASP, Episcopalian,
and people like Dr. Randall Ballmill, who from Barnard, who just wrote a book called Thy Kingdom Come, who is a Christian, an Episcopalian priest, and he was totally in support of separation of church.
Absolutely. In other words, what simply has happened is that the right-wing fanatics, the yellers and screamers for God, 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 are so offensive that the more educated, upper-class Christians, they realize this. Wait a minute. I mean, there is a thing called the Constitution of the United States. Jefferson was not an atheist, but he did invent separation of church and state.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, but saying is the word.
So I don't start off by saying to some religious person out there, "Yo, idiot! Yeah, you idiot!
Right.
While you're at it, idiot, let's get together on some things we agree, idiot." Because that's not politics.
What are you saying that this is what he said? I'm not sure why you're saying.
That's what he is saying.
This is what's in the book.
Poison,
okay.
poison, 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 poison.
All right, wait, let me ask you a question to both of you. Dennis, maybe you can answer this question.
His word is poison.
Who is this book written for? Is it written for the novice atheist who wants to know more arguments? Is he talking to the believer? Or is the long-term atheist who's read so many books, like myself, going to find something new in here? Who is this for?
You will find.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Dennis.
But I just think it's just Hitchens just opinionating. I mean, I think he's just
So everybody can find something in here. Is the believer really going to pick?
Let me put it this way.
I mean, he's going to piss off a lot of people. He has ticked off a lot of people.
Okay, somebody like me. Should I take the time to read this
I'll
book?
tell you what you will find.
Okay.
I would say yes.
I
All
will.
right, let me put it this way. In a certain sense, since he's a celebrity atheist, you don't have a choice.
Right.
I mean, whether you like it or not. All right. But you asked who the book is for. It's for Christopher Hitchens. It's all about Christopher Hitchens.
Christopher, you're really getting
standing
slammed
on
today.
the shoulders of the great ones. And then
Okay,
he's
well, right.
the burden,
It's
et
the
cetera,
thing
right?
today now to write these books
and what he is, as both of us would emphasize, he is right now famous as a leading supporter of the crusade. So he's
This is good. I am
he
glad
is
that
an
he's
atheist.
taking his celebrity and his name and adding it to the criticisms of theology. I'm happy about that.
No. But look, in America we have election day once a year, and that's the only day of the year they count the vote.
Right.
So if you're talking God is bad and religion is poison, 364 days of the year, and then you vote for George
As
Bush,
if that's happening.
as then you vote for George
Which is-
Bush, which is what he told me that he has done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So?
Then you are an atheist. Bush is out there with the medieval armor with the cross on the armor. Well, he's an atheist, so he doesn't have the cross on the armor.
No,
but he is
atheists today are
marching-
not single-issue voters on their atheism,
He
and that's
is, but he
unfortunate.
says he is a
Single-issue voter. I read
on
that.
Fighting the jihad.
So don't expect him to vote for anybody but Bush.
All right, but what
he's
I'm
not
saying,
being
but what
hypocritical.
I'm saying is now I'm talking to the atheists out there, and also, since I don't believe that all religious people are complete idiots, all right,